guys. So we're going to look at spinal work today. Okay, so we've got 20-minute mobility practice, just focusing on our spine. We're going to try and get through, okay, a few movements. We're not going to cram loads in. Okay, but what you are going to do, you're going to do it properly. Okay, you're going to get plenty of feels when we do it. So the first one, I'm going to start off really basic. Our spine splits up into 3 main compartments. Your cervical spine up into your neck, your thoracic spine, okay, so kind of think mid-spine, okay, to your neck, so these 2 points here, and then you've got your lumbar spine, which most people know of, okay, which is down in that lower back area. They are 3 parts. Firstly, vertebrae move individually, but they are 3 parts that can move separate to each other. So we're just going to create a little bit of a block for our first bit. So all I need you to do to start with, okay, is just stand up nice and straight, nice and tall. Arms going to be down by your side. And all we're going to focus on to begin with, okay, is just a big deep breath in. Big focus on the breath out. Try and feel that you're pushing the air down towards your feet pushing into the floor. From here, we're going to take our hands, just place them onto our rib cage here, so the bottom of our rib cage, and I want you to try and just gently push that rib cage down. Okay, that's just going to keep that rib cage from flaring up. I'm going to get you to soften your knees ever so slightly, and then we're going to try and focus on moving just the pelvis. So imagine your pelvis is a bowl of water filled to the top. We're going to start to spill water out the front and the back of the body. So as I keep my rib cage down, I'm going to think about going into a posterior tilt. Okay, so all that's going to mean is that my bowl of water is going to tip up and water is going to spill out of the back. So with my knees soft, I'm then going to tilt my pelvis. Okay. As subtle as that might be for some of you, okay, you should have seen that my pelvis is tilted. I'm feeling my backside squeeze here. I'm feeling that my abdominals can switch on a little bit more as well. Now I'm going to do the opposite position to that, which is my anterior tilt. So I'm then going to think about tilting my pelvis forwards. So then as I drop back, okay, pelvis is tilted forwards. Now water spilling out the front of my pelvis. And I turn into that duck position, my bum gets promoted back and I start to feel my lower back come on. All I'm going to do is just gently move from position to position. So 1, 2, just trying to breathe out. I don't mind which way here. Trying to feel and experience the difference in feeling. Okay, some of us can be stuck in one position and the other and not even realise that we're doing it. Let's do one more time. Squeezing under, putting it back. That rib cage would want to travel up if you're unaware of it. Then I want you to try and find the middle position. So there's a middle point there, okay, that you're going to try and find. I can't tell you where that is, but I want you to try and feel where you feel most stable and you're most in the middle. That's where I want you to find it. I want you to keep that and freeze it. Zap it, freeze it, that doesn't move. We're going to still stay on our rib cage here. Keeping the rib cage down, I want you to give one last press down and then you're actually just going to go and take your arms and shoot them out in front of you. From that position there, think about the rib cage staying where it is, the pelvis has stayed where it is, the lumbar spine is now, okay, aligned and flat. We're then going to go and reach our chin down to our chest and push our shoulder blades forwards. What we're also going to do here is round our upper back, so we're getting into that thoracic spine here. Reach those fingertips as far forwards as you can. And then as you slowly start to pull the shoulder blades back together, you're going to separate your arms, you're going to row your elbows back. And without the rib cage lifting, you're going to try and think about your chin travelling up and your chest pulling up to the ceiling. Okay, so again, it's not this, that's using my lower back. I'm trying to keep my lower back nice and still and I'm really trying to work in between my shoulder blades. I'm going to shoot out, exhale. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze it tight, draw those shoulder blades together. And again. Squeeze it back. 2 more of each. My pelvis hasn't moved, my rib cage hasn't moved. That's it, good. And then I want you to drop your arms down by your side, and you're going to try and find that middle position of your thoracic spine. So that's very much dependent on where you put your shoulder blades, okay? If you slightly pinch them together, you should then find that your rib cage and your pelvis is stacked on top of each other. The final one, we're going to look at our cervical spine, so our neck. A lot of the time we spend time with our chin forwards, whether it's looking down at our phone, looking down at something we're reading or on our laptop. We've got to try and bring this head and the weight of our head back over our body a little bit. So we're going to focus on something in front of us. I'm looking at the end of my nose, okay, to try and touch whatever I'm looking at in front of me. Quite easy when you've got a nose this big, I know. I'm sure you're all probably looking at it from that side profile and laughing, but anyway, I'll try not to worry about that. And then we're going to go and draw our chin in, as if we're giving ourselves a double chin. And then slowly push that nose forwards as far as you can. Bring it back in. And push out. So the idea here is to involve no other part of our body. Is to just let my neck extend forwards. Flex forward, sorry, and then extend as it comes back in. 2 more times, forwards. And the last time, push forwards. Draw it all the way in. Okay, so from my chin being drawn into my chest, it feels like my whole spine is relatively stable in one line. Okay, and again, this might feel really alien for some people. But ultimately, this is a position that we need to have access to. I don't want you to feel like you've got to stay in it the whole time throughout the day, walking around like a robot. Okay, but be able to have experience, okay, and feeling in a position allows you to be more aware of it, which is ultimately what we want to do. So from that position, we've stacked rib cage, pelvis, thoracic spine, cervical spine. Okay, we're in a nice natural shape of our curve, natural curve of our spine. Chin is in. You're going to draw your chin down to the top of your collarbone. Slowly start to draw your chin along your left collarbone to the top of your left shoulder. Drop your ear, your cheek back behind us. Draw your chin up to the ceiling, all the way across. Until the chin hits the top of the right collarbone, right shoulder, and then you drag it all the way back into the center. Let's slowly look up. Okay, draw the chin in again, and then slowly down. So if you're not familiar with the cars routine that you should have done already, this is your neck cars. We're moving and creating a nice rotational circle all the way around, drawing a line on the ceiling with a pen that would be in your mouth. Slowly all the way over to the other side, all the way back into the center, and slowly roll your body back up to the top. Excellent work. Give the shoulders a little bit of a shake out. So, next, we are looking at our cat-cow and our segmented cat-cow. So again, quite a simple format. This is a spinal wave, okay, also known as, and especially in our cars routine, you would have done this with me before. Your hand's going to push underneath your shoulders here. Your toes are going to be tucked underneath your heels. Hands are going to push into the floor, and you're going to go and imagine that you're pushing your hands into the floor and away from your knees. Whilst doing that, I want you to pull your spine into a flex position. My tailbone is tucked and pulling towards the floor, and my head is drawing and my chin is underneath, touching my chest. My shoulder blades are pulling apart, but I'm still shrugging my shoulders away from my ears. From here, I want to feel like I'm moving now my vertebrae individually. So I want the spine to move in order. So we're going to work from our lumbar spine all the way, okay, to our cervical spine, and we're going to move them individually rather than before when I had them in 3 segments. So that's what we're at least going to aim for. Hands going to push away from your knees. You're going to suck your belly button up, brace the abdominals, and then from that position, as your hands are pushing forward, you're going to slowly start to reach your tailbone away from your hands as it extends back. Keep thinking about everything else remains as it was until it's that point of the spine's time to move. So as I approach up towards my neck and my upper back, I'm trying to feel like I'm pulling my chest forwards. What we don't want to experience here is just a drop of the shoulder blades. So keep pushing away from the floor, try and pull your chest forwards. conscious of where the chin is doing, so I'm still trying to pull my chin into my neck. But you'll notice now that my spine looks very different. I look like I'm in an extended position of my spine. My tailbone is certainly promoting itself back behind, and my chest is trying to promote itself forwards. So all we're going to do is change the direction in the force of our hands in the floor. So we're now pulling towards our knees, arms are straight, and now I'm going to start to try and tuck my tailbone. Okay, I'm going to try and keep everything else as it is for as long as I can. Slowly working up all the way up to the top, and then I'm back to where I started. From this position, hands are going to push away again from your knees. Tuck the pelvis under so my tailbone is pulling towards the floor. And from there again, I'm going to pull my shoulders down and push them away from each other. This time, as my hands push away from my knees, I'm going to begin to pull my head up this time. So I'm starting from the neck, the cervical spine. I'm going to try and pull my chest forwards. Okay, still pushing those hands away from the floor. I'm trying to drop down from that chest until I then slowly begin to reach my tailbone back behind me. Okay, it can feel quite awkward. Okay, you may have a loss of control in that thoracic spine. I certainly do struggle through that area a little bit. But again, just all built slightly different. Hands are going to push into the floor, pull the hands towards the knees, chest pushing forwards, tailbone reaching behind you. And now I'm going to slowly begin to bring my chin under the top of my chest. Slowly begin to pull up in between my shoulders. Pull the mid-spine up. And then slowly begin to tuck. Great work. That spine has moved nicely all the way through there. Great stuff. Okay. We're going to use a band here. If you don't have access to a band, don't worry. Okay, you don't need to use it. Okay. For today, you can always go and order a band. Okay, from the internet. I use Bandforce bands. Okay, I find that they're very reliable and very good. But if you don't have a band, you can have a TheraBand, so one part of a band. You could use something stretchy, anything stretchy you might have that you could just put around your lower back. Kind of trying to think, some tracky bees or something just with a bit of elastic and a little bit of stretch in it. With a band, and again I'll show you this without the band because you can do it without the band as well. Okay, you're going to go and place this around your lower back. We're going to go back into moving just our lumbar spine. So as I come down to the floor, very similar to the position I was just in, okay, all fours, and I'm going to allow my spine to go into that extended position. So my chest is up, okay, I'm in that position, and then all I'm going to try and do is just to work into scooping my navel, and then slowly extending my spine again. I may even just bring that down a little deeper. There you go. So extending, and then just putting up into the band. Really slowly. That bit of resistance is helping me control that area, both into extension and then using my abdominals to bring my lumbar spine into some flexion. I'm going to show you just without a band and how you do that. You may want to sit back a little bit further without a band, just to isolate the movement a little bit more, and then you can just start to pull under and then extend. What we want to try and avoid here is the shoulders moving anywhere. So just try and isolate it so it's in that lower part of your spine, tucking the tailbone towards the floor and then just extending it back behind you. Let's do a few more of these. So again, if you're still working with a band, continue. Pushing the hands down into the floor. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Excellent. From here, we're going to grab a block. And again, if you haven't got a block, it's not the end of the world. You could use a cushion, you could use a thick book. Okay, however, with the book, just be careful to make sure it's not too rough or too tough for your knees. So as we do this, we're going to think about the block being in between our thighs. The legs are going to be nice and straight. And I want you to really crush, okay, the block here. Excuse me. Sitting up as tall as you feel you can. Okay, we're going to try and think about individually dropping the vertebrae back into the floor. I'm only interested in doing this from a rolling down perspective. I'm not too worried about the rolling up. That will come in future weeks. What I want you to do is to try and delay and be as controlled as you can as you reach back into the floor. So make sure you've got enough space behind you. Arms are going to shoot forwards, and then we're going to go and slowly round our spine. Okay, so chin into the chest. Think of that flex position you were in earlier. When you're looking for strength in this position, I want you to really crush the block. Okay, whatever you've got in between your legs, whatever it might be, you're squeezing as hard as you can. Draw your belly button in. You're going to try and imagine sliding the legs forwards as you slowly roll your body back. You may find a little bit of sliding happens. Rolling the body down, you want to feel like you get that first vertebrae into the floor. Slowly rolling the body back all the way to that top position. Now to come up, okay, some of you are going to feel like you need to shoot your legs forwards to come up. So I just want you to bend your knee, release what's in the block, bring it up, and then we're going to do that 2 more times. So again, crush as hard as you can, round the spine, scoop, squeeze those legs, slowly rolling back. Promise that's the mat that's making that noise. Control where you land your spine into the mat. Roll your body back. Good. Let's come up one last time. Again, really squeeze that block as hard as you can. So, third and final time. Find that flex position of your spine. Slowly begin to, I'm just going to use that a little bit harder. Slowly rolling the body back. Keep that control. Draw that belly button down. Find that lower back touches first. Slowly begin to roll yourself all the way back into the floor. Very good job. Nice work. So, final one, we're going to do a nice spinal curls. Okay, so a big spinal rotation. Again, you've got the option to use a block here, use a cushion, use whatever you want to. If you don't have anything, that's also fine. You can do this on your knees or you can do it standing up, but I'm going to show you on your knees here just to really focus on keeping our block. If you're happy to sit onto your heels, we can also do that. I'm going to actually do it here now. I've got an old knee injury, okay, that I manage a lot, so I can't really sit back on my heels, which you might think that's a bit weird for a mobility coach. Can't sit on his heels, but again, it's just where we are. Okay, I'm always working on it. It feels a lot better than what it used to, and I don't use it as an excuse. Okay, it's just there. I try and manage it as best I can. So we're all going to have bodies that work a little bit differently. So don't worry too much about it if you're in that boat as well with another part of your body. So hands across your shoulders, squeeze. Okay, now as you're kneeling here, you're just trying to keep your hips down. If this is uncomfortable to even be in this position, just come higher up onto your knees, but you're going to be a little bit more aware of your body cheating and compensating. We're going to take a big deep breath in. You're going to shrug your shoulders up, and then I want you to exhale. Shrug your shoulders down as hard as you can. You're then going to drop your chin into your chest and slowly begin to round your spine. Remember, your hips can't go anywhere, so we're just trying to round our upper back. We're then going to rotate to our left, lean out to our left. Okay, we're going to slowly draw our belly button in still, and we're going to circle ourselves back until we're leaning out to the right. We're going to rotate to the right. We're going to slowly draw ourselves back into the center. That's one. Roll our body up. Big deep breath in. Shrug down, roll your body down. Keep breathing shallow. Let's rotate to the right. Lean out to the right. Circle back, draw that belly button in, lean out to the left, rotate to the left, slowly pull back into the center, and roll the body back up to the top. Very good. So that's your first spine class done. Okay, I hope you're feeling a little bit better. If you need to go back to work now, try and stand up for a little bit, try and move your spine, use the space that you've opened up. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Make sure you check out, okay, our lower body and our upper body classes as well. Again, they're 20 minutes. If you can manage 3 of those in a week, you're going to be in a pretty good position, okay? So really make sure it's your body, use it well. You only get one of them. Look after yourself.